We have a mouse in the house.
If I didn't know for a fact that today is Tuesday, it feels like a bloody Monday. I have had the quote-unquote morning already so far, so it's not been a good one. Supposed to wake up at 5 in the morning, slept through 3 alarms. One was my Pixel watch, the other was my phone, and my third was an alarm clock that actually brightens over the course of 30 minutes to mimic the sun, and then everything goes off. Somehow I turned all 3 off in my sleep. Actually, I vaguely remember turning them off. Very vaguely. So wake up at 5:45, get dressed to go work out. Cold as can be, even though it's not deep winter yet, I still hate winter. So I go and do that. Make it there early, thankfully, so I have time to stretch. But fumble with my keys trying to get my key fob out to scan myself in. So it's already not good. Discussion with my trainer. He really wants me to eat more food, which is kind of difficult for me to do right now because of my appetite, because of my meds. And I will go into that more later. Sorry, I realized you weren't straight. Okay, I guess that kind of works. Got home after running to the store real quick to pick up some almond milk because I'm out of that and I need that for protein shakes as well as coffee. Go to make my breakfast, have this brilliant idea because I have leftover asparagus from going out to eat at Chili's the other night. Was going to reheat that in my air fryer and make an omelet, so I at least have something quick and easy to eat for breakfast. Completely out of eggs. Did not realize that, so I have asparagus reheating for no reason. Decided to throw that in for my lunch that I did meal prep for. Scrounge around my kitchen for about 15 minutes trying to figure out what I'm going to make instead. Come up with stuff to do protein pancakes. It's an absolute mess. And by this point, my coworkers are calling me to have like a morning meeting. So I'm like, I am already so late. So yeah, it's been a morning. It's been an absolute morning. So hope your mornings, whenever you're watching this, whether it is currently morning, afternoon, night, whatever, I hope your morning for this day went well, because mine did not. Oh. Going to work aggravated is not the way to be doing this today. The only good thing about today, hold on. The only good thing about today though is that it is foggy. It is very foggy outside. And it's currently 40. So that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things for early December. So that's a boon. Not a boon. Bonus boon. That is a bonus. There we go. So, on the agenda for today, I have work. I have a therapy appointment at 1. Then I'm thinking of taking a workout class at 5:45 because I ran to the instructor this morning. And every single time I've talked to her, she and I have like the same personality. Or I should say similar personality. And style aesthetics. So we've been hitting it off. So I might go to that. That'll be at 5:45. And then I have a meeting for the Sanguine Soiree, which is our goth organization that is in charge of the Darkness Underground. So I've got that tonight as well at 7:30 to discuss events that are coming up next year. Most importantly, January Friday the 13th, which is going to be our vampire ball. So I just got to get through today. That's it. And then go home and sleep. Because I have not been getting a lot of that either. I just realized I didn't say hi. How are you guys doing? God. You can tell it's one of those days. Sorry. Hi. Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the second part of Vlogmas. Starting off with a bang, apparently, of me having a wreck of a morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy to say that so far my morning has gotten better. So, can't all be bad. Can't all be bad. Also helps that I did grab some more coffee from one of the coffee shops on campus. This is a mocha with sugar-free hazelnut in it. Just wanted to try something new. One of my coworkers just finished a story for online on some really interesting research, and we were trying to figure out how we wanted to post it online, and given how long it was, about close to 1,000 words, I thought it deserved a feature piece design. So I actually got to design something today. Design a web page layout, which I actually thoroughly enjoy doing when it comes to articles and whatnot, and laying down how photos are going to look and all of that. So kind of a fun thing that I realized I enjoy doing over the last year. But now I am on my way to therapy. So for those of you who don't know, I've been doing therapy for a couple of years now. In fact, I think a lot of people, if you can go to therapy, or you could go to therapy, go to therapy. Because sometimes there are things you just need to, like, are just kind of good to talk about. You don't have to go whenever you're at the point where you're at a mental break or something like that. Sometimes it's just good to go and talk and figure things out. It's really helpful. One thing I discussed at therapy a couple months ago was my dance piece that I was putting together that focused on the lowest point of my mental health, and how my choreography for that was essentially a part of my recovery. So it was very helpful and cathartic. And sometimes just kind of updating and keeping my therapist updated on what's going on, and she'll make sure that I'm doing okay, and will make me think about things that I'm like, oh, I should think about this, and I should focus on this, and remind myself of this, and it's really helpful. One thing, actually I know a couple of things that I'm going to be talking to her today about, but the one thing that's going to be interesting to bring up is something that my personal trainer brought up. Remember how earlier I said I'd be talking about, at least I'm getting into later, about needing to eat more? So, this is the warning right now that this is going to talk about food consumption and eating disorder area and things like that. So this is the warning. I will put down a timestamp below as to when it's safe if you're someone who is kind of triggered or is wary of any talk about food, eating, things like that, or disordered eating, okay? So, here we go. I used to count macros religiously. So much so that I would weigh everything that I would eat. And if it didn't fit, I didn't eat it. Or if I ate something that didn't fit that, I'd feel incredibly guilty. So I was one of those people who would regret eating that sweet, or regret having that handful of candy or something like that. And I know it's something I've been working on, trying to get my mind out of that. Back in high school, I was never actually diagnosed with this because I kept my weight above, well, I kept my weight in a healthy weight, but how I was getting there was by no means healthy at all. For a lack of, well, since I never was diagnosed, essentially athletic anorexia, because I would eat very little, and every single day after school, because my high school had a gym, I would work out so much, so much. I think I dropped down to 128 pounds, but on my frame, that's not good at all. Or at least how I did it on my frame was not good, I should say. So I looked like my sophomore high school yearbook photo, my face looked skeletal. It was not good. But I got out of that, switched things around, and then a couple years later, not like a couple years later, but quite a few years later, I started doing macros and weighing food and things like that, and so on and so forth. So, the only reason why I stopped counting macros and weighing my food, or I should say every single ingredient that I put into food, is because it literally took the joy out of cooking for me. So the little thing about me, my love language is cooking. If I can give food to others, make food for others, share a meal with others, host like dinner parties, things like that, that is some of my favorite things to do. And it got to the point where I just didn't want to experiment in the kitchen, which is so unlike me. So while I was seeing quote unquote physical results that I wanted to see, I was by no means enjoying the process. So I stopped. Or at least I should say I stopped being as hardcore about it as I was. So when I started with this personal trainer, and he wanted to know if I did macronutrients or food weighting, I explained the situation to him as to why that's not a good idea. He immediately agreed that was not a good idea, and the fact that I take it several steps too far. And so I just now take photos of my food instead. But it's still this whole process, or this concept of I need to eat more, is what is bugging me so much, because it just doesn't, like, to my mind, it just doesn't seem right. And I know I'm eating enough. I'm eating enough if I wasn't working out. It's eating enough for actually working out, or I should say eating more protein. So it's this whole mental mind game thing that I'm playing with myself that I just hate. And it also does not help that because of the meds that I'm on, I have no appetite. So this whole idea of eating even when I'm not hungry just does not sit right with me. It goes against everything that I was taught. So I'm trying to figure out how to go back around that. I should also say, like, for the record, this is not me saying that everyone should go work out, that everyone should watch what they eat, that everyone should do this, that, the other. No, just do whatever makes you happy as long as you are healthy. And I know at this point it's kind of like, well, you're having issues with what your personal trainer is trying to tell you. I'm like, yes, that's why I'm going to the therapist about that. To figure that out. I would like to point out that yes, I am eating enough, just not eating enough to get the muscle or strength gains in the gym. Because I'm not advancing physical weight-wise when pushing weight. That's where the issue is. And I don't want to accidentally hurt myself because I don't have the proper nutrients in my body to repair the micro tears that I'm giving myself by lifting weights. So, I think my thing is I just want to get back into like the physical fitness that I was pre-pandemic. How I felt when I danced, when I didn't feel like so ridiculously out of breath because my cardio pretty much just got obliterated during the pandemic because, well, we were pretty much inside, or for me, I was working in a newsroom, so I didn't get to see much of outside for anything at all. Muscle definition I had disappeared because I didn't have access to any of the weights that I used to lift. So I would like to get that back. Can I still dance? Yes. Can I still move? Yes. Can I still do the things I want to do? Yes. And I am forever grateful for my body for being able to do that. Honestly, I just want muscles. Not gonna lie, I want muscles. I think muscles look sexy on women. There, I said it. I do. I think that is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, and I know some people hate it. You do you, whatever, but if a woman wants to get strong and be strong and lift weights and have muscles, go for it. I probably rambled through that entire thing, but I'm trying to figure out things in my mind right now too, so like I said, this is why we go to therapy.
Oh, you can see me in a reflection, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
For this.
Oh, dope. Are you
vlogging? For Vlogmas? Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
I'm like a Karen. Well, then I'll film you too.
Filmception. It's kind of how this goes. This is actually last Vlogmas. This is what we did. Because I actually
Yeah, you got me to vlog.
Yeah.
You got me to vlog. I probably did like 5 or 6.
I actually told my viewers, like, type in Virgil vlog.
And they did.
And they did.
They left comments and I was like, fine. And then a few of them responded. And then they followed me and then they commented on my vlogs like, hey, I'm here from Nick.
Show me. Show me the magic.
Show me the magic.
Yes.
Show me the money.
Show me the magic. Thank you. It's my little buddy that just sits here in front of me, and then half the time she's like my head scratcher too, so it works.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you can also just do like, yeah. Normally it's like right over here, just like it's just like.
As you bend and bring your big toes together to touch, your hands out in front and let the chest fall toward the floor. Rest your forehead on your chin.
It's amazing what a difference 24 hours can make. So, yesterday morning, for lack of a better term, was an absolute shit show. This morning was peaceful, productive, and zen. And to make it even better, while I was on my way to Starbucks, one of my favorite songs that I normally hear in the goth club, Orgy's Blue Monday, came on. So, feeling pretty good this morning. And honestly, it's actually all thanks to my therapist. Like I said, go to therapy if you can, folks. In this instance, she made me rethink something what you would think would be very intuitive and simple, which is mornings and getting up and being productive, and getting to sleep at night and actually getting restful sleep and not letting the brain constantly run. So I was telling her how I wish I could be one of those people who could wake up easily at 5 in the morning. And I was jokingly talking about, I remember when the It Girl trend was going all over YouTube, and fitness YouTube and everything else. And like, I'm not knocking, if that's what you are, more power to you. I don't know how you folks do it every single morning, or at least most mornings. But I was joking with my therapist, telling her, like, me waking up and first thing I do, drink water and lemon, and then go do yoga for a while and meditate, and then affirmations, and then work out, perfect skincare, flawless makeup, make a healthy breakfast, do all this, that, and the other. I'm like, there is no way in hell. And then she looked at me, she's like, well, why not? Well, I can't go to sleep at night. By the time I'm trying to fall asleep, I just lay there and I can't fall asleep. And it also doesn't help that my husband, like, I love him to death, I do. He doesn't have to get up in the morning till 8:30. That's when I have to be at work. He also goes to sleep around, well, he starts getting ready for bed at 12:30 at night. Normally, we spend most of our evenings together just to kind of catch up and everything else. That's our time. And so I stay up with him, and then I try to get up early in the morning, and you can see we're looking at roughly 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. Not sustainable. So of course, no wonder I'm having issues trying to get up at 5 in the morning. And I told her how earlier yesterday, or I should say earlier that day when I was talking to her, how I talked to my husband about how I needed to start getting to bed earlier because it just wasn't sustainable, and I was such lack of sleep, and it was starting to affect a lot of different things. And I'm like, I love you, I do. This is not me saying that I want to spend less time with you. I just need to be more consistent with going to sleep and prioritizing that, and being able to actually get up and do my stuff in the morning, while at the same time still spend time with you as well. And some nights throughout the week, he will play with his brother online with video games. Normally around like 9:30-ish. So my therapist was like, why don't you start winding down around 9:30? I'm like, I've tried that before, but I still have issues going to sleep. And she said, have you thought about doing a sleep meditation? I'm like, no, I didn't even think about those. She's like, that's what I'd use. I'm like, okay, so I'll try that. At one point she'd asked me what I wanted to do in the mornings. Like, what would I love to be able to do in the mornings? And I said, oh, I'd love to be able to be the type of person who gets up, immediately puts on their workout clothes, goes and brushes their teeth, has their coffee in a thermos, like prepare that, ready to go, and then walk out the door and then get to the gym. She's like, sounds like you have the nice beginnings of a morning routine. And we sat there for a little bit, and we actually clocked out, or I should say figured out, I should say, a concept for a night routine and a morning routine for me. So I tried the night routine last night. It worked. Tried the morning routine this morning. It also worked. Running a little bit behind, admittedly, but I can kind of futz around with a couple of different things as necessary. But ideally, it was actually a really productive morning. I was able to sit down, figure out my to-do list of all the things I need to get done for work, things I need to get done tonight, who I need to contact. I was able to do mobility training and cardio this morning, and then I also was able to do yin yoga to kind of quiet my mind and get all that figured out. Made oats for breakfast. Overall, a really good morning. Also went to Thai cardio kickboxing last night, and oh God, was it awesome. Used to do Muay Thai a little bit in college, did boxing earlier this year, and it was fantastic. So probably will be trying to go to more of those classes, just not on a not when I'm absolutely exhausted though, that's for sure. Okay, so what I thought was going to be a quick trip to Michael's turned out to not be so quick at all. Honestly, I should not be surprised. Between that and going to Ulta, that took me about an hour and a half. So, got home later than I wanted to, but I did pick up some of the other stuff I wanted to do for the house, decor-wise. Sorry if I'm walking around here a little bit and camera being all over the place, but I'm trying to make sure I have everything I need to do some decorating tonight, because I want to get some of this done. So basically, I just want to get some of this done so I don't have so much I have to do tomorrow night, because like I said, I'm running out of time. Oh, I might have to put you down for a moment while I open boxes. Just a moment. Ha! You're very important later. You're important. Stay. Still debating whether or not I want to use this. This is actually my childhood tree skirt that my family's tree always had. So I don't know where I'm going to put this. If I put this out, honestly, this might just go on my altar, because a part of me is terrified to put it on the coffee bar, because I know that would be the one time I spill something. So probably best to not tempt fate. I think what I'm going to have to do is actually just start putting things on the coffee bar and hope for the best, because I keep hemming and hawing over it on how I want it to look, and I can't settle on anything, except for one thing I know is going to be on there, potentially two things. So might as well see what's going to happen. And you're also running out of battery, of course, so charge this one. My other one is halfway through too, I think, so this could be a short endeavor. Nope, I'm not in focus. No, I'm in focus. Okay. All right, so coffee bar I think is mostly done. But that was an hour worth of struggle bus for me. I do have a little mini white Christmas tree or holiday tree that's normally on my altar, but this year I want it out here because of something that's going to go next to the altar that's currently taken up by that stuff. But I just wanted this here instead. There will be ornaments on this. I'm trying to figure out what color ornaments because I have several. And I have a few of the things I'm probably going to add, but for all intents and purposes, coffee bar is now done. So, next that means I'm going to be finishing up the dining table, finishing up the kitchen, and then working on the guest bath, the living room, and the hallway. I don't think I'll be doing my well, no, I could do my actual bar this year. I could do that. So the question is, can I get all that done tomorrow and what other time I have on Saturday? And perhaps Sunday morning if I want to be particularly ambitious. So cross your fingers, wish me luck. By the time you watch this, well, it'll already passed. So yeah, in any case, I should have started my wind down for bed around 17 minutes ago. So yeah, I'm warm, a little sweaty, and I really want sleep. So I will see you folks tomorrow. Smells really nice though. Okay, that is good.
Yeah.
It's halfway through the day and just had to make an unexpected trip home to grab some documents so I can go get the Real ID. Now, Real ID was pushed back in the state of Illinois several times. It's been pushed back again, actually. But since my birthday is in December, and this is also the year that my current driver's license expires, I thought, why not go ahead and get it? So, here we are. But at my DMV, you have to make an appointment to go in and do it. All the appointments that for looking out further ahead are during times next week when I know I'm going to want to focus on work to get a lot of stuff done before the holidays. So check to see if they had any last minute appointments today, and they do at around 3-ish. So it's race home, go grab documents, and then head back to work. Although I do have a little bit of time, so I'm going to see if I could stop by Party City to pick up some fairy lights, because I want to reuse some of the cauldrons I have for winter decor, and that will need fairy lights. So, and hopefully they have what I need. Online says that they have what I need. I'll believe that when I see it. So wish me luck. Okay, color me surprised. They actually had them. So I knew by checking online that they didn't have green lights. I don't know why, but even during Halloween, they didn't have green fairy lights. So I think what I'm going to do instead is pretty much do kind of a candy cane type coloring. So I have 2 red and 1 1 white fairy lights, string of fairy lights. 3 cauldrons are part of the centerpiece for my kitchen table during my Halloween Decorate With Me. I'm going to put the 2 reds on the ends, inside the ends, and do the middle one white, and then put the white fluff stuff on top. I can't think of what it is, what it's called. Bear with me, folks. I can't word today. And I think I'm in the wrong lane because I need to get on the interstate. Okay. Let me get past the light so I don't make this illegal. Cannot change lanes in an intersection, even though everyone does it in this town anyway, regardless of that fact. But I'm not. Gonna head back to work for about an hour and a half and then leave again so I can go get my ID. Oh, being an adult sucks. I mean, it's great because I get to decorate and do stuff like this and do fun things too, but sometimes adulting stuff just sucks. Hi. Excuse the screwed up lipstick. I'm home. It's gonna take a pretty chill night, try to get some decorating done. I was waiting for pizza to arrive and, well, we got a bit of a situation here. So you might be wondering why we have one of our crates currently inside this thing. While I was sitting on the couch, I thought I heard what sounded like scratching and a thunk behind me. And we couldn't figure out what it was. We thought it was just, I was going crazy. Then I heard it again. Got my husband out here and we started looking around and we couldn't hear anything. And then we heard scratching what sounded like it was underneath the floor. That's not what happened. No. Instead, we thought maybe something had gotten inside one of the little cubbies. And so we took some of the empty decor boxes that we've been using to store things in and quickly put them over a couple of the tubs that we thought might have something. Shook them, nothing. It's like, okay, there's nothing there. So I kind of looked into one of them, removed it, like, okay, put it back. Was looking at the other one, and all of a sudden, I see something scurry. I am not ashamed to admit that I screamed. We have a mouse in the house. So now we are trying to get mouse out of the house in the most humane and simplest way possible. Wish us luck. Mouse is out of the house. Mouse made a break for it as soon as my husband got the tub outside and then dipped it over to its side on the porch. Little guy made a run for it and scurried off into the bushes. So, mouse isn't dead, but it's out of the house, thankfully. Honestly, I think it got in through the decor because not all of our decor is in plastic tubs. Some of it is in not wooden, some of it is in cardboard boxes. So we're changing that at the end of this year. Because I have no other idea how it could have gotten it into the house. Because we have pest control for this situation. Man, I'm gonna be listening real hard while I'm decorating for the foreseeable future. Because, well, as you can see, this place is a bit of a disaster area right now because of all the decor that's everywhere. There's lots of places for something to hide if it wanted to. For the record, mice are cute. They are cute, just not in my house, okay? God, I have that messed up. Oh, if I do decor tonight, I'll fix that, but given everything that just happened, whatever. Also realized I could have come in through the vents, and doesn't that make me feel so great right now? Alright, well, I'll say that. it is a rainy, cold, sleepy kind of day today. Spent most of the morning working at the office, and then decided to work at the Literary, which is my favorite place in town. The camera's not right. Sorry about that. There we go. I don't know why, but for some reason with all the background noise there, I find it incredibly easy for me to focus on work. And you'd think it'd be the exact opposite. But no, I can get so much more done there than anywhere else. I think a part of it has to do with the fact that I worked in a newsroom for several years, so I'm used to constant noise. Oh my god. And as you can tell, I am very, very tired. Made it to the gym this morning. It was a struggle, but I did wake up. Yes. Grammar is not my friend right now. I did wake up at 5 this morning. It was just a much slower morning than I would have preferred. But I still got everything done, so that means it was a success. And my boss was so very kind to decide to call the day a little early today. So I get to go home and do some more decorating, which I desperately, desperately, desperately need to do, because I am so behind on that. But now I am so tired and so sleepy. I'm very sleepy, very tired. And right now I'm trying to figure out how I can convince myself to get stuff done. And not just collapse and nap on the couch, because that sounds so glorious right now. What was it I told somebody at the gym the other day? Tanya? Oh god, I can't remember her name. Telling one of the instructors at the gym earlier this week that in the mornings it feels like I'm a couch gremlin, and that's what I want to be as soon as I get home. But no, we must be productive. We have to get this done. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoy it. I do. It's just on days like today, I just rather just sleep. It's just so nice. I'm also supposed to go to a going away party tonight too, for a friend of mine. That starts at 8, and considering I'm hoping I'm not going to be asleep by then at this point, or I should say at this rate. So I will do my best to make it out for at least an hour of that, then come back home, get stuff done, and call it good. And I do need to pick that up too, for my brother-in-law. So I got a couple stops before I head home, but I'll check in with you folks later. Hopefully this doesn't fall over. I don't actually have a stand for where that camera is. So if it bobs up and down, I'm sorry. I will do my best to stabilize this in post. But it is Saturday afternoon, and I am on my way to go visit my brother. So my brother is, oh, don't do this to me. Focus on me, not the steering wheel. Okay. I am on my way to go visit my brother because he wanted help to put up some holiday decor at his house. Apparently they have not done it the past 2 years. And so I was free today, so I said, why not? So I'm on my way right now. A little later than I wanted to, not by choice. Woke up with, I'm fairly certain it's a sinus headache because it is foggy, super foggy today. And my nose was clogged, and it's just one of those where you just wake up, either you're completely dehydrated, and your head feels a little stuffy, so you're just like, oh, so moving hurt. So waited for a while lots of water, meds kicked in, sipping coffee, and I was pretty much sniffing peppermint essential oil every few minutes. And while I was driving here, the last remnants of it, doing yoga breathing to see if I can get rid of the last remnants of it. Thankfully that worked, so I'm good. Also grabbed Starbucks too, because that always helps too for me, having something hot to drink throughout the entire day. Because unfortunately the nose sprays that I use, while great and efficient, just destroy the back of my throat. They're not supposed to, but I'm fairly certain I overused them when I was younger. And so now I'm rather sensitive to them. Yay me. So I'm on the road for a while, but can't wait to see my brother. Looking forward to it. I haven't seen him in, oh gods, I haven't seen him in person in months. So I can't wait to spend some time with them. Have dinner tonight. Also brought along some goodies too to share. Mostly coffee, because that's what we do. We are a coffee family. Last night I didn't vlog this because I was caught up in all the conversations, but I did go to the going away party for a former coworker at the place where I used to work. And I'm gonna, like, it was great seeing everybody again. Even people who had left prior and came back to wish her, like, good luck and farewell and all of that, all this, that, and the other. She's a hell of a great reporter, bar none. Oops. She's a hell of a great reporter, excellent writer, like, dog with a bone when it comes to the stuff that she's trying to report on. And she will do anything to get the facts. And I respect her so much for that and her personality and everything. And so if she ever does watch this, one, she knows who she is, and two, woman, I wish you the best of luck in any endeavor you choose to go after, because I know you will succeed, because that's just the person you are. So love you. Also really, really happy that the fog lifted for today, because if my headache wasn't going to keep me home, the fog was. Because I don't drive very well in heavy fog, like pea soup fog. It descended last night as I was driving home from the going away party, and I'm like, I can barely see 10 feet in front of me. This is not good. And I woke up this morning and I'm like, it's a little better, but not by much. This is great. So I'm glad it finally lifted, because I don't do well driving in fog. If I can't see lights in front of me, I'm not risking it. So hopefully this will be a good day. And then tonight I'm going to, when I get home, I'm going to finish up decorating. We're going to put up the tree tonight. Mostly done with the big stuff, so that's good for me. With any luck, everything will be ready by the time my dad and his girlfriend arrive at my house at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And this is a rest stop, and I'm gonna stop here to go to the bathroom because I have drank so much water today and coffee that it's not even funny. And that's why I don't put anything up there. is Sunday, December 11th. Slow morning, mostly because I am trying to figure out how to tackle the rest of some of this house. I know everything's not going to be perfect, but that's absolutely fine. Got my brother's house mostly decorated last night, so that was good. Had a good meal with him. He made some authentic Cajun food, gumbo, so that was delicious. Went to go see my mom, just to check up on her, see how she's doing and things like that. It's been a few days since I've seen her. Played with Chloe for a little bit. She was desperate for attention even though it was late at night. I don't understand why, but whatever. Got home and I did put up the Christmas tree or Yule tree or whatever. Just the tree itself. I didn't do any ornaments or anything. I just wanted it at least up so we could tackle that some point tonight. I was going to stay up late to wrap some gifts and finish up the house until my husband and I heard a crash from the kitchen and another squeak. I don't know how they're getting in. We don't leave food out on the countertops except for maybe once in a great while. I don't get it. But we live by a field. It's bound to happen. We didn't find it last night, but we know that it was living in the, or at least has access to the drawer underneath our stove. Because I did toss out one thing I bought over Halloween involving some cloth and stuff because I did notice hints of mouse droppings there. So, we know it's getting in. So, I'm trying to figure out, well, actually it doesn't even matter how at this point. So, I would love to do the humane trap and release thing. A part of me wonders if it's the same mouse that we captured and released. Because if it got in at least one time before through the outside somehow, that means it can get in again. So if it's something on the exterior of the house, we're having somebody come later this week to check that and see if they can lay traps or something. I don't know. Again, I think mice are cute, just not in my house. And especially not in my kitchen when we're approaching the holidays. Well, any time in the year anyway, but especially when I'm approaching the holidays and I'm going to be doing a lot of baking and cooking and things like that. And so help me, if I'm in the middle of something that involves like very sharp knives and I see a mouse skitter across the floor, and if I'm shocked or surprised, I don't think that would end very well. So, because I don't want to end up accidentally cutting myself. But, in any case, I'm going to sip my coffee. Get at least some more stuff done around here. At the very least, wrap my dad's girlfriend's gift. Oh, come on, focus on me. My dad's girlfriend gift, because Dad, I ended up getting him a gift card, his request. Well, actually, he told me just to buy him a gift whenever one of the stores stock stuff around us in spring for plants, because he's gung-ho about decorating the his backyard right now and making it absolutely perfect. So I thought I would just at least give him a gift card now so he could do that on his own, and then I would pay the rest. Because I wanted him to have something because he is so freaking difficult to shop for. He is perhaps the most difficult person I know to shop for because he never wants anything. So, I gotta convince myself to start moving and doing that. And definitely pick up the house to a decent degree. So, that's my morning update. And I'm really hoping I don't hear a squeak or skitter as I'm doing that. I don't need that this morning. Great, okay. Wait for this to level out. So it's actually already the end of the day. Sorry I didn't vlog much of it at all. My dad and his girlfriend came up. We just sat there and chatted for a bit and exchanged gifts and shared, exchanged gifts, went to dinner, ate, things like that. Just chatted, and then it was just a chill night. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to move from my spot, so I didn't. Most of the house is done-ish when it comes to how I want it decorated. So here's the thing. I know it's not going to be authentic when it comes to like decorate with me's, but given circumstances, it's starting to fall apart. Damn it. But given circumstances of trying to make this ready for essentially guests, what I'm going to do is, yes, I have some things in place. So for the sake of the decorate with me, since I didn't record most of this, since, well, one, they came early. So I was speeding until the end and I hadn't even taken a shower yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo a lot of the stuff that hadn't been done yet and then record me fixing it up the way I want to. And that also means the extra odds and ends and baubles and things that I hadn't put on anything yet, such as like ornaments on trees, extra finishing touches here and there and things like that. So it'll still be a true decorate with me, just not in the authentic thing of I am trying to figure things out as I'm going along. So, sorry for any purists out there, but I was trying to get things done for my family. Another addendum, or I should say thing from tonight. This morning I told you all about us hearing a squeak and a crash last night. And the fact that we saw evidence of a mouse in the drawer underneath our stove. I was prepping for bed tonight, actually just a few minutes ago, doing my nightly routine. And I turned around and there is a mouse on the floor by some decor out by my coffee bar. I'm fairly certain it was dead. That or was sleeping in a very awkward position. So I'm fairly certain it was dead. Of course, I was like startled and like, oh, mouse. I think I told my husband, dead mouse or something like that. And he got up and walked over and he looked at it and moved some things around it. He's like, yeah, it's dead. So we put it in a bag. We're going to show it to the pest control people who normally take care of our home, because they're going to check for entrances and exits and set traps and bait and all this, that, and the other, because it is that time of the year. We do live by a field. I know this is what happens for those of us who live by fields. I know it's not anything that we're doing wrong. It is what it is. It's part of nature, right? We are essentially on their territory with this. To admit, I kind of felt a little bad. The guy was just laying there. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But my husband thinks that, because we were telling this to my dad, this entire saga over the past 3 days. And my dad said that they don't make a lot of noise unless they're injured or hurt. So what my husband and I are thinking was that the crash we heard was something in the stove, the drawer underneath the stove, which is where I hold some of my more heavy duty pans and things. Fairly certain something there collapsed and the mouse got caught and screeched and then skedaddled out of there. And I saw the poor thing tonight by the coffee bar dead because it may have hurt itself bad enough that it passed naturally. Honestly, which is what I would kind of prefer anyway versus anything that an exterminator would do. So at least we have that situation handled, but we're still going to have them check just to make sure that we're not going to have any more. Because where there's one, there's two, and there's two, there's more. And so yeah, we're checking everything. At this point, I'm thinking it's got to be vents or we're fairly certain our stove has a gas hookup potential. So maybe the caulking around that has been worn out. It's we don't have a gas stove, but it has a potential for it. Maybe around those lines they got in, because according to my dad's girlfriend, they can squeeze into places as smaller than a dime. So there's a lot of tiny holes that they could find their way through. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Not what I wanted to happen, but it is what it is. On a happier note though, as you saw a little earlier, like I said, I did have the decor done. So there's the sneak peek preview of what the decor is going to look like. Not all the lighting is done, not all the bubbles are done, but there's your sneak peek preview. There, done. So I'm gonna take off what little makeup I have, get dressed in pajamas, read maybe 10 pages of a book, and then go to bed, because it's gonna be an early morning tomorrow. Because I'm going to the gym, starting my day. It's another work week, 2 weeks until we are off for the holidays. So I think this is where I'm going to leave this vlog. I still haven't edited my first one because I just haven't had a free moment, or honestly the spoons to do it in the midst of everything. So that'll probably be done tomorrow during my lunch hour. So in any case, I hope your holidays are going well, and I hope you're spending it with your family. I hope prep for everything is going well. I hope you're not being overly stressed. And if you are getting overly stressed, I hope that there is some way for you to de-stress, or there's someone there for you to talk to. I understand. So with that, thanks so much. I appreciate every single one of you. I may not be able to respond to every single comment. I do read every single one, and I do appreciate them so very deeply. So with that, I will see you in the next one, and remember to go after whatever your dark heart desires. Night.